Namaskar and a very good afternoon to all the viewers watching NCERT's live and interactive program. I am Shivani Jha and you have all connected with us through PM eVidya channel number 9. And besides this, there are so many different mediums through which you all can connect with us. And even you can participate in our live conversations by raising your comments, your queries or whatever you want in the live chat box of our official YouTube channels that goes by the name NCERT Official and NCERT PM eVidya Class 9. Well, this session of ours is meant for class 9 students and the subject is English. And today we are going to learn a very beautiful poem titled On Killing a Tree. Well, dear students, we all love trees and they provide us with fresh air, fruits and vegetables. So, why is there talk of killing trees? Well, this is a genuine question, and to elaborate this whole poem, we are also joined by our expert, Dr. Ashwini Sandip Patil. Ma'am is Assistant Professor at Dell NCERT, New Delhi. Ma'am, namaskar and welcome to our session.
Namaste.
Yes, and along with this, we are also joined by our sign language interpreter, Ashish. So, Ashish, I also welcome you to the session. And now, dear viewers, if you have any queries or doubt regarding this poem or regarding our particular program, then you can also drop your comments, your queries in the live chat box option of our NCERT Official. And we have also phone number and email ID which you can note it down. Our phone number is flashing on your screen, which is 8800440559, and our email ID is dth.class9@cit.nic.in. So, now we are proceeding towards our session, and my first question. So, ma'am, I would like to ask you, what are we going to learn in this poem?
Yeah. Today we are going to talk about a poem, and as you said, it is entitled as On Killing a Tree. Poet of this poem is Patil, and here we are going to talk why the poet has entitled poem as On Killing a Tree. By observing the title, you may understand that the poem is something related about trees, right?
Exactly, ma'am. But why is the poem talking about killing the trees? So, yes.
Yeah, this is the genuine question. Generally, we say cutting a tree,
exactly,
right? But poet here use word as killing a tree. Poet here wants to give some message. Okay, so let us talk about the poet and then we will turn to our poem. Jiv Patil, he is an Indian poet, playwright, painter and even physician. Okay, so along with writing poems, he wrote 3 plays and he worked as a physician also. So, he has done many operations even, and here he is talking about tree, that indicates that he has a deep concern for the nature, and he was the part of green movement as well, where the group of writers supported nature, they tried to save environment. So, being an environmentalist, here poet raises his deep concern for the nature and wants to convey that we should save trees instead of killing trees.
Exactly, and I guess we will get a lot of messages regarding to save our nature and how we can save our nature. And ma'am, why the poem is entitled as On Killing a Tree, not as Killing a Tree as you earlier told me?
Yeah, it is entitled as On Killing a Tree and not as On Cutting a Tree, right? So, generally when we talk about trees, we say cutting a tree. And whenever we talk about living beings like animal, we kill animal. So, here poet says killing a tree. Why? Because he wants to convey that trees are also living beings like human beings, right? So, trees are also living organism, and we should treat trees as we treat animals and human beings with same respect, with same care and with same love. Trees also need that. This is the intention. And you know, cutting is a casual act, but killing is a deliberate act. Okay, so here we cut trees. Why do we cut trees? I am coming to the second question here.
Okay.
And why poet here is talking about killing a tree, and as we talked about it
We
earlier.
normally talk about cutting the tree.
Yes.
Yes.
So why do generally we kill trees?
Ma'am, I think for our own purposes, like for manufacturing, for industrial, and like as I earlier told in my introduction, for fruits, vegetables, air, fresh air as well.
Right.
So we get a lot of things for our own needs from the trees, and still we cut the trees.
Yeah. So here, do we cut trees for our need or
Yes.
for our endless greed?
Okay, so I'll go for the second one.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely right. Nowadays, we are cutting trees for our endless greed, right?
exactly.
Now, and that is not good at all for the environment.
And ma'am, there are so many news regarding the cutting down of trees for the industry purposes, for the building purposes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
for even construction,
Construction,
even.
exactly
I know,
right.
we read
For
and
the dams even.
exactly. And now it is time to save trees. If you want to save our own long lasting survival, then we have to save trees. This is the message, dear learners, and for that purpose the present poem is prescribed for you. NEP 2020 even talks about environmental issues, and the present poem gives us that wonderful message regarding our environment. Okay, so
Exactly, ma'am. I think this is going to be very wonderful poem. So shall we proceed now towards the
ji.
poem? Okay.
See, yeah, here I quoted one line written by Joyce Gilmer, and this poem, Tree, is present in your textbook even. So you can go and read that. Line is like that: poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. So it is it gives a wonderful message. Here poet says that poems are made by fools like me. He calls himself as a fool. Okay, why? Because we human beings are acting like fools, right, by killing trees. Killing a tree is itself like killing our survival.
Exactly, right.
Right? And poems can made by fools like me. Fools means again imperfect human beings. We all are imperfect human beings, right? We are not perfect.
Exactly.
But if you see any tree, that is the perfect creation of nature. That is the perfect creation of that high power. And if you observe the beauty and the nature of that tree, then you will realize complexity of its nature. Then you will realize this is created only by high power or universe or
Exactly.
God, whatever you term it
Right.
as. Okay, so we human beings can create many things, right? We have that creation power, but we cannot create another human being. We cannot create another living being, right? We have limitations, but tree is a living being, and that is created by God. And
Exactly.
that's why,
And we should not destroy the things given by
Exactly.
nature to us.
yeah, right. And this is why poet here is talking about saving trees.
Okay.
Ironically, he gives the title as On Killing a
Killing
Tree,
a Tree.
and by reading the title we may think that, oh, something is there like on killing
Right,
or
right.
to kill a tree, but nothing is like that. Here poet uses ironic tone. Let us go through the poem. Once I will read it and then we will explain it. Okay.
Okay.
There are 4 stanzas, and poem is written in free verse style. Okay, so there is no rhyming scheme.
Okay.
But tone of the poem is contemplative, it is objective, and it is thought provoking. Okay, so let us read the poem and then we will discuss it. Poet says in the first stanza, "It takes much time to kill a tree, not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of it leprous hide, sprouting leaves. So hack and chop, but these alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. No, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be roped, tied and pulled out, snapped out or pulled out entirely out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed. The source, white and weight, the most sensitive, hidden for years inside the earth. Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. Okay, so
Yes.
these are the 4 stanzas of this present poem, and if you read it carefully, then you will understand what poet is talking all about here.
Okay, so ma'am, now can we know the explanation of these 4 stanzas?
Gee,
Okay.
yes. See, as I told, poem is written in free verse, and poet has used some poetic devices, figures of speech like metaphor and enjambment. So there is one line is running to the second line without having any punctuation or having any break. That
Yes.
is the
It
figure
is
of
like
speech.
some kind
Yeah.
of sentence, we can say, line by line.
Running
Yes.
through the stanza, that is enjambment, and somewhere he has used repetition as well, metaphor as well. So let us discuss the first stanza. Poet says, it takes much time to kill a tree. It takes much time to kill a tree. You people may tell us that, does it take much time to kill a tree or to grow a tree, right? So here we are wise enough to understand that trees take a lot of time to come in its full size. Okay, so but poet says here it takes too much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. Jab means stab. Not a simple stab or stabbing will kill the tree. It has, why? Because it has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide sprouting leaves. So here the very first line of the poem starts with ironic tone. Poet wants to convey something opposite. Poet wants to say something different, that it takes too much time for the tree to
grow.
come in its full size, right?
Yes.
From the seed to the sapling to the full grown tree.
Exactly.
Right?
It took many years. to
Many
grow.
years, maybe
Yes.
10 years or more than even
Exactly.
10 years, right? So it is a lengthy process. And tree, how this first stanza talks about the process of growth, right? Not about cutting a tree. Here tries to talk about how the leaves come out of that bark. Okay,
Yes.
so poet here says that killing a tree is a time consuming process. You understand that? Opposite of it, ironically poet is talking here, and he is explaining how laborious process is it of the killing tree, but he wants to convey that learners that tree takes too many years to be a grown up tree, right? So poet says it is challenging to kill a tree with a simple stab of knife. Why? Because it has taken many years to come in its full form. Okay, so it has consumed the earth, means it has taken nutrients from the earth, okay, and it has taken years of sunlight, air and water,
Exactly,
right?
right.
And then out of its leprous height comes leaves, small leaves you can see. Okay, so here leprous height means colorless bark of a tree from which the miniature boughs come out, right? So tree has taken lot of time and many years to stand still. This
And we can say, ma'am, we humans are such foolish that we cut a tree within a second. We don't take a long time to cut a tree.
Exactly.
Right?
Nowadays we have so many tools, and
Exactly.
using those tools we just kill tree within an hour even. But poet says that as you kill tree easily, tree is not grown up in
exactly, and this is a main message poet is giving to us, and we have to think on that as well. Yes, ma'am?
Exactly, exactly.
Now we are moving to second stanza.
Yes.
Okay.
So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Hack and chop. So if you stab, cut and chop, try to chop the tree, this will not kill that tree. Why? Because it has taken many years to grow, right? And therefore just stabbing will not kill that tree.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Not so much pain will do it. So your stabbing or chopping will not make that much pain to that tree. The bleeding bark will heal. Bleeding bark, here poet uses metaphor that as human wounds bleed,
exactly,
right? So trees wounds also bleed. So that bleeding, right, bleeding bark, poet says, will heal. As human wounds take time for the healing, same way trees will also take time for healing purpose, but that bleeding bark will definitely heal during a period of time. And from close to the ground will rise curl green twigs. Okay, and poet says here, and from if you try to cut it close to the ground, then even some curl green twigs, miniature boughs, means small boughs or leaves will come out. And if you left it unchecked, if you left it unchecked, then the tree will take again its former size.
Okay, it will grow once again.
Exactly. Yes. So this is the nature.
So
this
we cannot destroy it, right?
Yeah, we human beings cannot destroy a tree, just a simple stab or chop.
And it's given by nature to us. So it's a very wonderful gift for us as well.
Exactly. So poet says that stabbing of course harms a tree, like human beings also get wounds, but that wound will recover during a period of time. But nature has inherent tendency to recover that wound, to recover that bleeding part, and the nature has that ability to grow again, regeneration, or you say regrowth, right? So this is about the second stanza. If you left the tree unchecked, then it will take former size, okay?
And it will regrow once again.
Exactly.
Yes.
So here is the third stanza. No, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. So if you want to kill tree, then you have to pull out its root. Okay, it is to be roped and tied and pulled out, snapped out, or pulled out entirely out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the source, white and wet, the most sensitive, hidden for years inside the earth. Here poet in this stanza criticizes this process of killing a tree, and here you will get many violent words: rope, tied, pulled, snapped, pulled out entirely. So if you try to apply these verbs to any human being or any animal, then we will understand that what happens with that tree when
in
we
context with killing, right?
Exactly. So here poet wants to sensitize people that trees even get harm, they also bleed, they are also living organisms,
like
they also feel pain, and so poet is explaining this process of killing a tree. And if you want to kill tree entirely, then you must take its root out. Okay, you have to uproot it, and the root must be uprooted by pulling out, and this poet says this root is the most sensitive part of the tree. Which provide power to the tree. Stanza 4 is a short one. He says, then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. So poet here says that then the matter of scorching and choking, scorching means then you have to, once you pulled out the roots, then you have to expose the roots to the sunlight, and due to that heat, extreme heat, that what will happen, the roots will start drying, okay? And choking means you have you cut its oxygen part even, so it will start decaying, okay? Browning earlier tree was green, now it has turn its color into brown. Okay, the process of decaying starts here, then hardening, twisting, its shape will be changed, it will become hard due to no water content in that, right. Withering means decaying, and then it is done. What is done here? Done means killing. The thing which you want to kill a tree, this will happen finally once you uprooted the tree and once you let the roots dry out in open sunlight and expose it to the weather, then after some days, months,
we can say years, in years,
the tree will die. It will take few days for a drying process or decaying process, and finally it will be done. This is the poem. Okay, I hope you understood this and you enjoyed even this. Okay, so poet has used here irony and sarcasm, and he wants to convey that same message, that trees are living beings like we human beings are, and they are vital source of our life even. So if you want to survive for long period, then we have to save trees. Okay, and we have to preserve our nature as well.
And ma'am, we get fresh air from tree only, so we have to conserve and we have to avoid cutting the trees for our own purpose.
Exactly. So that is the long lasting survival. For getting air, fresh air,
we can't breathe because of air. Yes,
trees give us clean air, pure air, fresh air, and trees even is the source of water even.
And if we talk about the current scenario of our world, there's a lot of pollution around us. And
we are fighting against pollution, we are fighting against global warming, right. We are fighting against the forest of this concrete or buildings, right. So if you want a good and long lasting life free of pollution, then we have to save trees. So humans must think twice, thrice before cutting any tree.
And we should avoid cutting trees, we should avoid deforestation, right.
And this is the message here poet wants to convey. So here I would like to give you message that save trees, save life. They give us shade, air and life, right.
Exactly.
So for at least these things, try to save trees.
This is really wonderful, ma'am. And in this poem, the poet is conveying the message that we should conserve and protect trees and our environment as well. So as we are limited with a very limited time, so we have to wrap up this session for now. And firstly, I would like to thank our expert for this wonderful session. So thank you so much, Dr. Ashwini, for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and along with this, I would also like to thank our sign language interpreter, Ashish. Thank you so much. And here to information for all our viewers. First is the date for Balpan Ki Kavita has been extended to 23rd May. So you can also see the video on your screen regarding this competition.
क्या आपको भी गीत, कविता पढ़ने, लिखने और गाने गुनगुनाने में रुचि है? तो आइए शिक्षा मंत्रालय भारत सरकार की एक अनूठी और सराहनीय पहल का हिस्सा बने तथा भारतीय भाषाओं और अंग्रेजी में लोकगीत और कविताएं भेजें। आप दिए गए लिंक पर अपनी रचनाएं अथवा किसी अन्य रचनाकार के गीत और कविताएं भेज सकते हैं। भारतीय भाषा कविता प्रतियोगिता के नियम आदि भी आपको इसी लिंक पर उपलब्ध होंगे।
So please be the part of this competition. And now also let me tell you, the new NCERT textbooks for grades 4 and 7 are now available on Amazon, Flipkart and also on the official NCERT website. Now have a look on your screen for our upcoming programs. So at 3 p.m. you can join us on channel number 10 for our mathematics session, and the topic will be coordinate geometry. After that, followed by 3:30 p.m. you can also join us on channel number 10. The subject will be social science and the topic will be nationalism in India. And at 4 to 5 p.m. you can join us on channel number 6 to 12, and the topic for today will be tiny wow. And at 5 p.m. you can join us on channel number 6 to 12 for our Sahyog program, and the topic is flashing on your screen. And at last, you can also join us on channel number 6, 9 and 12 at 5:30 p.m. for our NEPA session. So you can also watch these session of ours on NCERT official and PM eVidya channels. So thank you so much viewers once again, and namaskar to all of you.